What is up, 12s? Get ready, because what I have to drop today is going to shake the foundations of Seattle and keep the rest of the league awake at night. We are living through a moment that feels like a Hollywood script, but the challenges that surfaced over the last few hours could completely shift the destiny of this roster. Between statements that reveal the true face of our leader and financial decisions that might force painful goodbyes to some of our defensive icons, things are heating up. You are not going to believe what we have on tap today. So grab a coffee, hit that like button, and let's dive straight into the news. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel as we are pushing for that 1,000 subscriber goal. You know that feeling when justice is finally served in football? What is echoing through the halls of Lumen Field right now is much more than just a title celebration. It is the release of everyone who overcame absolute doubt to reach the top of the world. There's a quiet and powerful connection that explains how the Seattle Seahawks shocked the planet this season, and it goes directly through the relationship between our quarterback and the mastermind of the defense, Mike Macdonald. During a recent event in Seattle, the euphoria was still palpable, but one specific comment stopped everything. Sam Darnold opened up about what really drives our head coach, and the revelation will give goosebumps to any fan who values grit and resilience. Darnold, who many considered a lost cause after those messy stints in New York and elsewhere, found in Macdonald not just a strategist, but a mirror of his own journey of perseverance. Mike did not just fall into the championship spot. He started at the bottom in Georgia high school football and climbed every single rung of the ladder, facing moments where things just did not go his way. That mutual persistence created an unbreakable bond. What makes Mike so special, according to our QB, is his genuine selflessness. He vibrates more with our joy, the joy of the players and the fans, than with the ego of being a Super Bowl champion. It is the kind of leadership that makes an athlete run through a brick wall for their coach. Seeing Mike Macdonald become a champion in just his second year as the Hawks head coach is proof that the culture he established is bulletproof. For Darnold, being the first quarterback from that iconic and controversial 2018 draft class to hoist the trophy, outlasting names like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, is the perfect end to an epic cycle. They prove that hard work and the right mindset beat the initial hype every time. But while we celebrate this perfect harmony between master and apprentice that brought US glory, a shadow is starting to loom over the future of this winning roster. And that was not even the most surprising part of the day. The problem with reaching the peak is that everyone now wants a piece of our shine, and the price to keep this group together has started to climb in a scary way. Steel your hearts, because what comes next is a reality check for anyone who thought the road to a repeat would be all sunshine and rainbows. Our defense, that dark side unit that terrified opposing offenses, is under direct attack from the market. We are talking about fundamental names like Rick Woolen, Kobe Bryant, Josh Jobe, and that monster boy Mafe. All of them are hitting free agency this spring, and being totally honest with you, the Seahawks financial math has entered an emergency mode that might force goodbyes none of us are ready for. Michael Sean Dugar, who knows the inner workings of Seattle better than anyone, dropped a bombshell that makes us question the depth of our pockets. He explained that while John Schneider is a genius at creative accounting and can spread out signing bonuses, that still requires cold hard cash on hand. This is where the suspense hits an all-time high since the formal sale process of the Seahawks, announced recently, creates a cloud of uncertainty over how much the new owner will be willing to shell out immediately. It is just not viable to keep everyone. That is the sentence that hurts the chest of every die-hard fan. How do you choose between keeping your best corner or your top pass rusher when the cap is tight and the team ownership is in transition? The ideal strategy would be to offset these losses through the draft. But the outlook there is not great either. We only have 4 picks for 2026. 4. Even if Schneider pulls his usual magic and turns those into 6 or 7 players through trades, relying solely on rookies to defend a Super Bowl title is a massive risk. The team will need some of these veterans to take a hometown discount for the love of the city and the culture Macdonald built. But we know that in the NFL, money talks. If we cannot hold this defensive core together, the dream of back-to-back titles could start slipping through our fingers before the preseason even starts. But wait, because what comes next is even more unbelievable. If you thought the defensive exodus was the end of the line, hold your breath, because the draft guru himself, Mel Kiper Jr., just dropped a prediction that could change everything for the dark side, with the very real possibility of losing Rick Woolen and Josh Jobe to the market. The hole in the secondary, right across from the phenom Devin Witherspoon, looked like an impossible gap to fill. But the solution might come straight out of Clemson, and his name is Avion Terrell. Just imagine the Seahawks, picking at 32 as defending champs, landing a talent that many project as the legitimate heir to the aggression that defines Seattle football. It is a strategic move that would make Mike Macdonald grin from ear to ear. Terrell is not just another name on a big board. He was an all-ACC selection and brings stats that jump out at any serious analyst. Last year, he piled up solo tackles and forced fumbles like a 10-year vet. What really gets the 12's heart racing is his elite speed, clocking a 4.3 in the 40-yard dash. That would give Seattle insane mobility to shadow the fastest receivers in the league. The fit in Macdonald's scheme would be instant. He has that small frame but giant heart physicality that we love to see at Lumen Field. He snaps at the heels of the opponent and does not let go until he secures the turnover. Of course, it is not all perfect, and the suspense here is how he deals with much larger receivers, since he is considered a bit undersized. He still has that dangerous habit of grabbing the opponent when he gets beat, which turns into a flag fest in the NFL. But think about the development potential under a defensive genius like our head coach. Terrell could play both outside and in the nickel, creating absolute chaos alongside rookie Nick Emenwari. If he falls to us at pick 32, we would essentially have a Devin Witherspoon clone in terms of effort and grit. It would be the final masterstroke to keep the crown in Seattle, turning a potential crisis into an explosive, youthful reload. Being a Seattle Seahawks fan is a non-stop emotional roller coaster. We saw how the bond between Macdonald and Darnold is the soul of this title. But financial reality is knocking on the door with the potential departure of our defensive stars. The suspense surrounding the team's sale and the strategic arrival of Avion Terrell in the draft shows that the plan for the repeat has already begun. Will loyalty to the jersey speak louder than money for our free agents? Drop a comment and let me know who you would keep at all costs. Leave a like and subscribe so we can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark.